On behalf of the patron, Secretary Simmons, officers and members of the Barbados Landship, and the 150th Anniversary Committee, welcome to the dock on the occasion of the press launch of the 150th anniversary of the existence of the Barbados Landship. First, thank you for being here this morning and for the support we have received from the media over the years. We are grateful for this opportunity to explain a bit about our plans for the celebration of the 150th anniversary and also about recent information that is being unearthed about the importance of the Landship. We recognize that the Landship must become relevant to today's society. In our plans, we are seeking to align with national priorities, including the National Human Resource Development Plan being executed by the Ministry of Education. It is a matter of cooperation because no one person can do it alone. The Landship can only pledge to do what it can, and indeed it requires a massive role to be undertaken, as you will hear. We must also thank the members of the 150th Anniversary Committee, some of whom have worked beyond their call of duty to try to make these celebrations a success. They have brought many of the skills required for the Landship to be a success. What we are missing now is membership, and as we seek to overcome whatever crisis it is, I am confident that many Barbadians will begin to see the relevance of the Landship as we become more and more visible and credible. The membership of the 150th Anniversary Committee are Lord High Admiral Chair, Co-Patron Margaret Williams, Canon Noelberg, Roosevelt King Administrator, Ashanti Trotman Coordinator, Field Ambassador, Dr. Nancy Jacobs, and Dr. Marcia Burrs. Junior Jordan, Canon Noelberg, and John Hunt. Here, representing the committee are the Lord High Admiral, Chair, Co-Patron Margaret Williams, Roosevelt King, Shandy Trotman, Dr. Nancy Jacobs, Dr. Burris, that make up the membership that is present. Let me begin by introducing Mrs. Margaret Williams, on my left, who will deliver a statement on behalf of the Landship, which will take an outline of the plans for the Landship. Following her will be the coordinator, Mr. Ashanti Trotman, after which the floor will open to any questions. So let me hasten to ask Mrs. Margaret Williams to deliver the 150th anniversary statement. Mrs. Margaret Williams.
Thank you. There are no other existing African Barbadian organizations whose legacy and longevity has served the working class people with such distinction and for so long a period. The story of the birth, growth, and importance of the Barbados Landship is now only on the cusp of being researched and developed. Therefore, it is fitting that due importance be given to this Barbadian institution as the Barbados Landship Association celebrates 150 years since the establishment of the Landship movement on the 28th of October, 1863. The Barbados Landship Association and the Barbados Landship Association's 150th Anniversary Committee are heartened by the National Cultural Foundation's recognition in this year's Crossover Festival, and also the support given to Winston Farrell's House of Landship. This is the theatrical production that captures the history and ritual of this cultural form. The production will be premiered at the Crossover Folk Concert, which will be held on the 26th of July. It also appreciates, through the NCF, the support received from the Arts and Sports Promotion Fund to assist us with our activities for the anniversary celebration. The significance of the Landship as a cultural icon has seen much development across Barbados and the Caribbean. From 2002, the NCF and Ministry of Education introduced a program called CHECKS. This is the cultural and historical exposure for kids in schools. This was introduced to our primary and secondary schools and focused on Landship. Several dance and community groups have incorporated the Landship aesthetic into their dance repertoires. Much ongoing research has been undertaken by scholars such as Mr. Trevor Marshall, Dr. Nancy Jacobs, Dr. Alison Downs, and Dr. Marcia Burrows. Indeed, Dr. Nancy Jacobs is researching the African connection to the Landship, and this will shortly result in a seminal publication. In recent years, the Barbados Landship has been included in the theatre arts curricula of the Caribbean Examination Councils, that's CXC, for secondary schools. The Barbados Landship is also poised for research and submission for recognition to UNESCO in the World Heritage Directory as Barbadian National Intangible Heritage. In looking at the rich history of Barbados and the relevance of the Landship in modern times, it is the committee's intention to celebrate the 150th year through sensitizing and enlightening Barbadians more about the Landship. We are aiming to have at least one book on the Landship in circulation by September, and during the 150th year, more publications will come. Pre-season events have included the Easter Landship Workshop held at the dock, here at the dock, April 8th to 12th, which exposed about 40 children to new aspects of the Landship. The children have been our ambassadors. And in addition to this, the Landship Association, led by Lord High Admiral Vernon Watson, successfully represented Barbadian indigenous practices at the July 2013 CARICOM Heads of Government meeting to commemorate the 40th anniversary of the signing of the Treaty of Chaguaramas in Trinidad and Tobago. These serve to highlight the importance of the Landship. The Barbados Landship is more than a spectacle. Indeed, the Landship was formed by African Barbadians as a vehicle for moving them out of slavery conditions into a more sophisticated world. However, casual observations of the maneuvers of the Barbados Landship has led many to believe that the Landship is an embarrassment to the people of Barbados. To the contrary, every maneuver and every command has a profound meaning that reaches into aspects of African Barbadian heritage. The Landship brings with it the story of how the enslaved Africans were brought to Barbados, the bondage they endured, and their journey from emancipation into independence. 150 years ago, just after emancipation, the conditions that existed for the Africans on the plantations warranted the start of an organization like the Landship that would cater to their every need. Hence, the Landship was formed. These formerly enslaved Africans were not sufficiently educated to represent themselves and had nobody to represent them, and virtually no contact at all with the outside world. On the plantation, workers had problems negotiating wages. The banks would take their money, but they could never get a loan. Insurance was unheard of in those communities. There was no welfare system to help those who needed material support. And most of all, no means of entertainment, except what they generated themselves. The Landship met these needs, all these needs, along with others, as and when the need arose. For example, when it was recognized that education was the key to uplifting the masses, many people saved funds in the Landship to send their children to school and then to higher institutions of learning in England. The Landship not only provided a facility for this, but it also would give loans and grants to help members in need. A child's first school uniform or a young person's first clothes for work came as a grant from the Landship. Conditions were so depressed that some people could not bury their dead, and the Landship provided grants to cover expenses for their members to bury their dead. Basically, the Landship is a friendly society. Now, of course, the Landship today has been taken over by several institutions. These are the unions, the banks, the insurance companies, and the credit unions, while the welfare aspect has been taken over by government. It therefore took 5 institutions to do what the Landship did as one institution. This is the level of contribution that the Landship has made to the development of Barbados. In the present climate, where we have a high national debt, soaring import bill, an astronomical health bill, rising unemployment, and micro businesses can't get loans, even though our banks are reporting high levels of liquidity. Maybe it's time for the Landship to resurge and make another outstanding contribution to the development of Barbados. As we set out to do this in incremental steps, the Landship's first aim is to establish itself as central to understandings of cultural identity in Barbados. Its specific mission is to popularize the Landship in every community where there are Barbadians. One objective is to develop a practical appreciation of the Landship and its value to Barbados and Barbadians by sharing historical research with the general public through the publication of books and other literature that will give Barbadians a better understanding of their history. Alongside this are plans to make the Landship sustainable by creating a hub for enterprise as it once was, training young people to give them marketable skills, while at the same time making products with a Landship brand. Most important is assisting in the branding of Barbados as a tourist destination by enhancing the niche market which the country has developed, making our tourism product more competitive through marrying culture with the tourism market. Now, looking at our anniversary celebrations, the official activities to mark the beginning of the 150th year will start on the 27th of September with Ship Ahoy, a community event at the Landship dock and its environs right here in Licorice Village, my Lord's Hill. The main events will be held in the week prior to the anniversary date of October the 28th, 2013. These will be announced by the coordinator, Mr. Ashanti Tron. So we wish to encourage the media and corporate Barbados to support our efforts in recognition of an institution that has contributed significantly to the establishment of Barbados' cultural patrimony and that has the potential to make further significant contributions to our growth as a nation.